all started over in the Netherlands when me and Adam were on exchange. So we actually lived together. And as you can imagine, that household was very dysfunctional. And towards the end of our exchange, we we're setting our goals for the next year. And I take this very seriously. I try and challenge myself with something new every year. And I was talking to Adam. I was like, Adam, what can I do? And he said to me, look, over the last 2 years, you've been relatively comfortable from his perspective. I didn't feel that way, but he thought I'd been relatively comfortable in all the things I'd attempted or tried to do. And he said, why not get really far out of the comfort zone, out of your comfort zone and do the thing that scares you most? And he knew that I was doing a bodybuilding comp. And the reason why is that a bodybuilding comp is something that literally takes everything out of you for like every moment of the day, right? When you're combining the dieting with the training, every moment of the day, probably towards the last month, you just feel insanely hungry. Like there's no getting away from it. There's nothing you can do without feeling insanely hungry. Even when you go to bed, you can barely sleep because of the hunger pains. And so he knew that this was going to challenge me immensely. And being the friend he is, or what, I don't want to swear on here, but he made me do it anyway. So that all started in the Netherlands, and it involved a period of obviously bulking up for a little bit. I'd been gymming for about 3-4 years since high school. And I always like arrogantly joke to my friends like, oh, I should do a competition, but completely joking. And then, so I actually then committed to that and begun that process. So again, involved that bulking up. And then I actually got a coach for when I shredded down. And in that last period of, let's call it 12, 13 weeks before I did this show, when I was shredding down, I was also interning at Deloitte and doing uni full time. And that took everything out of me. So I think I was 4 days a week working, and then obviously the full-time uni. And in the later stages of a comp, you're doing cardio every day. So you're on the treadmill for an hour every day. And then you're also training every day. So that's 2 hours in the gym. Plus you have to cook all your own food. Every little kind of calorie you eat is weighed out. So your whole day, you're revolving around your food, and your brain just gets so foggy because it's hard to concentrate. And as I mentioned, the Driven Young podcast, in the last few weeks, I was getting black spots in my vision. I was probably sleeping an hour or two a night because my hunger pains were that bad. And your body just goes into full flight or flight. Like you feel really anxious all the time.